The arrival of the Turks to Anatolia changed the fate of the Armenians as well as the destiny of Anatolia. Armenians, who experienced sectarian and administrative tensions with the Byzantine Empire, rebelled against the empire many times. The Byzantine Empire wants to use Armenians as a buffer against Islamic armies and Muslim Turks by setting them in certain regions in the east of Anatolia. A significant number of these Armenians refused to fight in the Byzantine army during the Battle of Manzikert and established an Armenian tyranny in Cilicia under the leadership of Philoratos. They constituted an important part of the Christian subjects within the Ottoman system of nations. When the 19th century came, colonialism and nationalist movements accelerated the breakup of great empires. The interests of states such as Britain, France, Germany, Italy, and the Tsarist Russia, which were called the Great Powers, Doveli Morzima, who colonized the undeveloped regions, conflicted with the Great Ottoman state in many areas. Separatist trends in multi-ethnic states like the Austro-Hungarian Empire and the Great Ottoman state became a threat to security. Especially in the Ottoman Empire, ethnicity-related issues were not an internal problem anymore. The Greek revolts found support from the English since it served their interests in the Mediterranean, and the famous English poet Lord Byron was not even satisfied with making Greek propaganda and voluntarily joined the Greek ranks. In this period, Slavic Orthodox elements were often used as an excuse by Russia to interfere with the internal affairs of the Ottoman state. Russia regarded itself as the protecting power of the Slavic and Orthodox subjects of the Ottoman state. The traditional policy of Tsarist Russia was pan-Slavism. The First World War emerged as a result of Germany's efforts to colonize, as well as the efforts of Western powers to establish dominance and influence over the Ottoman territories. From now on, new problems would emerge in the south and east for the Ottoman state, who suffered great losses, especially in the Balkans due to ethnic tensions. Many spies among the Arabs, and one of them, the famous English Lawrence, tried to weaken the Ottoman Empire by using Arabic ethnicity in this period and tried to cause chaos behind the fronts with their raid operations, and they succeeded. Struggling against similar events like this within its borders, the new danger in the eyes of the Ottoman Empire was the terrorist acts based on the Armenian ethnocentrism, which was supported by both the Russians and the Western nations with guns, ammunition, money, and propaganda. Armenian gang members called komitadjis, who clustered around the Armenian settlements scattered throughout Anatolia, threatened the local people and the security behind the front lines. The activities of the Armenian komitadjis, especially in the eastern provinces, necessitated various measures to be taken. The armed Armenian gangs were threatening the Turks as well as the Armenians who were not involved in incidents and encouraging the people to join the rebellion. Sometimes they even killed each other in such conflicts. For the Ottoman Empire, which fought on many fronts, such a problem in the inner regions created a great security weakness. The Ottoman government enacted the Relocation and Resettlement Law, called Techir, as a precautionary measure during the war. The law was not applied to the regions with no security problems, such as Istanbul, or to patients and to those who perform certain tasks. The decision of relocation aimed to gather Armenians who created security threats throughout Anatolia at certain centres and eliminate security weakness. The law was abolished about a year later. While the relocation was continuing in Anatolia, the eastern provinces, where the persecution of the Armenian committees was the most severe, the Armenians began to migrate to neighbouring Russia and Georgian territories. When the Ottoman Empire was deemed defeated in the First World War and had to sign the Armistice of Mudros and the Treaty of Sèvres afterwards, Armenian terror activities in these regions arose again. After the First World War, the Turkish forces under the command of Kazım Karabekir were not demobilized and waited on full alert, especially because of the Armenian threat. As Armenian harassment and occupation increased, the forces under the command of officers who were in the national campaign, such as Kazım Karabekir and Deli Halit Bey, formed the Eastern Front. With the establishment of the Eastern Front, Armenian terrorist activities were defeated one by one, and the Muslim and Turkish community within the region were able to return to their homes. After the Sakarya victory, one of the turning points in the national campaign and the ultimate defeat of the Armenians by the Eastern Front forces, the Kars Treaty was signed on October 13, 1921, between the representatives of Turkey, the Soviet Union, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Georgia. According to this, Turkey left the Adjara region to Georgia. Nakhchivan was considered to be the land of Azerbaijan. The Armenian claims in the eastern provinces ended, and all countries agreed that Kars, Ardahan, and Erzurum provinces belonged to Turkey. After the treaty, the Soviet army entered Armenia, and the independent